Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. If you just joined us, this is International Forum, and I am Wilson Marshall. Today is all about the Israel-Hamas war and talking about the proposal of Trump to take over the Gaza Strip. Yes, the said things have been destroyed. America is interested to work hand in hand with Israel, of course, Philistine, to come together to make sure that the city is restored to its former glory, even better than its former glory. But it was met with serious opposition. Some are saying yes to it. The Gazans, Philistines, are saying no way. The later on brothers, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, they should come to our rescue. We don't want anything Trump or the U.S. to come help us rebuild. Now, that is where we are today. Is it a crime for the man to say, look, let's help you out, let's rebuild? You guys have lost a lot due to the leveling of your city by Israeli defense forces, but right now, let's build. But they are saying no. Do you feel anything is behind it? Do you feel it is just like, how would I put it now? The enemy of my enemy, or will I say the enemy of my friend is my friend? You do it anyhow you want to do it. Is that what is playing out right now? Or will I say the friend to my enemy is my enemy? Why the enemy to my enemy is my friend? Is that what you're saying? Anyway, we're here in the studio to talk about this. I have a legal practitioner, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Bayomi Thomas. Thank you so much, Barrister, for joining us.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to viewers at home.
All right, and I have a seasoned analyst, both national and international politics as well. Granted, join me to welcome Honorable Paul IEC Ogido. Hope I'm correct this time.
Yes, you are correct.
It's good to have you join us on this show.
Good afternoon, viewers at home.
All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
So, Barrister A.B. Thomas, I'm going to start off from you. Of course, those that are fans of news around the world for today, I'm not going to bring it to you due to some circumstances beyond my control. You understand the cause of this particular, discourse. All right, Barrister A.B. Thomas, the die is cast. And right now, a ceasefire is enforced, though fragile because conditions were stipulated for that to happen. And it's like Hamas may not be able to bring out a number of, how will I put it now, hostages that Israel is demanding for. And Benjamin Netanyahu is promising hailstone, fire, if they don't get the required number of hostages that Hamas was proposed to release. Hence, fragile nature of the ceasefire. But there's a twist. Trump said he's taking over the Gaza Strip to rebuild it. I mean, what can you make out of this?
Well, the new problem, the ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hamas is facing right now is because of the new emperor in America. Because even before he was sworn in as president, he already had a delegation involved in the negotiation between Israel and Hamas in Qatar. Well, at that meeting, the Egyptians and the Qataris were able to tell the Israelis the real normal truth as to how many hostages were left and how many dead bodies could still be found. So it's not as if the Israelis were not told. They were told. But the problem that the ceasefire is having, that is making it fragile, are two-faceted. One, the ambition of the new emperor in America, that is President Donald Trump, who has empirical mind. He wants to have the Gulf of Panama named Gulf of America. He wants Canada to become the 51st state to join America. He wants Gaza Strip to become a tourist center owned by Americans, thousands of miles away from America. So it is what Donald Trump is pumping into the mind of the Israelis that Netanyahu is looking at. That, oh, if America can remove these 2 million Palestinians in Gaza, better for us, the Israelis. We won't have Palestinians in their homeland disturbing us in Israel. That is the mindset of Netanyahu and Donald Trump. On the other hand, as to making Gaza a tourist center, one should ask first and foremost, what is Donald Trump's interest in Gaza Strip?
We'll come to that. We will come to that. But let's get to hear from Honorable Paul Ogiduna. What do you feel about all this?
Well, let me start by reminding us that I said here in one of our programs that Donald Trump is yet to unravel what he has for this second term that he has. He is a man that cannot be predicted, like I said before. He has reeled out this one, and he's going to do more. For me, I believe, I don't want to fault him totally. His decision to take over Gaza Strip may not be popular. But in the long run, it's going to go a long way to help in eradicating the killings, the destruction that have been happening in Gaza all these years. There have been hardly a decade where there have been no wars and attacks between Hamas and Israel. Let's not forget that before now, America have always had a two-state solution proposal, which never came to pass. For a man to come out and think out of the box and say, no, these people are killing themselves all the time. It's just like you have two sons who have a toy, and they are supposed to play with these two toys peacefully together. But you don't see them killing themselves because of this toy. What is wrong with the father taking this toy and keeping it and say, well, I don't think you have to kill yourself over this. So it may not be a popular decision among the nations, but I think in the long run, it's going to be a permanent solution to the killings and the carnage that is happening in Gaza and indeed Palestine.
Over to you, Barrister. If you thought you heard him, he said that might just be a permanent solution. After all, it's just a strip. Not saying that Palestinians and Israelis will not have access to this. Just that buffer zone. Make it a tourist center for the betterment of everyone.
Please
because that place is like a war zone.
Understand Trump's proposal. The proposal is to resettle the 2 million Palestinians away from Gaza, sending them to Jordan, Egypt, Qatar. And America will now take over the Gaza Strip as if it is a tourist center owned by America. You see, they did this before in some other areas. If you look at the history of America itself, which you now know as United States of America, some of these states that are now part of America were originally not part of America. There are areas that were owned initially by Russia. If you look at the northeast of America, Hawaii was not part of America. But the previous presidents of 200 years ago did not go the way Donald Trump is going. It was through negotiation that the Russians ceded Hawaii to America. And then the Americans purchased the place. But the way Donald Trump is going, he's taking his Christian belief too far, to the extreme. Who has made America the president of the whole world? Who has made America the police man of the whole world. That America can, you look at the effrontery with which J.D. Vance, the Vice President of America, spoke to the Europeans at the Munich Security Council meeting a few days ago, as if there were no human beings in Europe. This new American first that Donald Trump is pushing, I can assure you, I'm happy my friend said, oh, he came here once and he said this, that Donald Trump cannot be predicted. After 1 year, I can tell you that Donald Trump will change. Why? He is going to isolate America from the entire world. Because you can't just leave America. Go and look at the map of the world. At least these are places I've traveled to. I know the distance between Israel and America. I know the distance between England and America. These are places I've gone to. You can't just leave a place that is over 50,000 miles that you have no historical link with. I'm talking of Palestine land. All because you feel, oh, I am a Christian, I'm the president of America, America first. Then you begin to ask independent sovereign states like Canada to become your 51st state. All right. Then you come back and say Palestinians, 2 million Palestinians will be removed from their land because you are a businessman, you want to build tourist center. I mean, if like the analogy of my friend that, oh, if two children are playing and they are quarreling, the father will come and settle. Is America the president? Is America the father of Palestinians and Israelis? No, you see, the analogy is the type. Let me finish. Sure. The analogy is the type that will create big problem for international law. International law. Then, United Nations has no reason to be in existence. The UN has no reason to be in existence. Because if Donald Trump in the 4 years he's going to spend in America can begin to acquire countries, acquire sovereign territories, because there are disputes. He hasn't been the first American president. There was a president that had Camp David Accord.
I'll come back to you, Barrister Thomas. But I know you are a bit emotional right now. Let's just watch our emotions. Now, Honorable Paul, he gave a very strong point. How can we relocate over 2 million people from a strip because he wants to make that place friendly, make it like a tourist center? And he now opined, he even accused Donald Trump of trying to acquire that Gaza Strip indirectly. What do you have to say about that?
Well, I'm going to maintain my stand. In the first place, who made America the police of the world? Of course, we know very well. It's popularly known that the president of America is the president of the world. Everybody knows that because America has a lot of influence over every single nation of this world. That is not a secret. If it's a secret, then it's an open one. Donald Trump didn't say he was going to buy the place. He said we will take over the place. He is not paying for it. He is not acquiring it. He is going to take over the place. Because, first of all, don't forget that for so many decades, the war has been going on between Palestine and Israel. Let's go back a bit memory lane. In 2005, when Israel withdrew from Gaza, there was this expectation that Palestine was going to rebuild that place and take good care of it for their own prosperity. But what happened? Shortly after they withdrew from that place, in 2006 precisely, they brought in Hamas to take over the administration of Palestine, Gaza. The Gazans brought them. And of course, we know the agenda. These are anti-Semitics. They are anti-Israel. They are anti-West. And every now and then, they keep shooting rockets into Israel, destroying things and all that. with the sole aim of, oh, we want to reclaim our land, we want to make sure we establish an Islamic state. They don't want to see Israel. That of course is also uncalled for. And who have been able to take care of this? The UN is there. All the world organizations, they are there. Nothing has been done. And the killings does not stop. These people keep dying by the day. Look at the one that just happened now. We are counting thousands of people that have died in this war. So this continues unabated. And for Donald Trump to come up and say, well, a lot of proposals have been made over the years. What we need to do is, these people here, is just a strip, of course. These people here, they are few. What if we relocate them where they have good living? The reason, I listened to Donald Trump.
Over 2 million said, few?
About 2 million.
And you call that number few?
Of course, that's not so much.
All right, now you just hold on. I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you.
All right.
We want to go for a break. When we return, we're going to throw more light into the discussion. Do stay. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is International Forum. We're taking a look at Israel, Gaza war, or Hamas war, you want to call it that. You're right on point. Trump's plan for the Gaza Strip. You're making a point for when to number, please.
Yes.
Anchor the point you're raising.
If you ask me, I would say there's a popular parable in Benin that says,
please interpret.
Good. For you to, because you are not tall, in order for you to become tall, then you have to fall sick. By the time you get sick and you now get lean, you now gain the height that you desire. Why not just wait till maybe if there is reincarnation, then you can be tall in your next life. These people, if you ask me, they don't have life. Their life is a life of fear, a life of death and destruction every now and then that is being triggered by Hamas. I'm not making a case for Israel or a case for Donald Trump. But what I'm saying here is that this issue has lingered on for several decades and nothing has been done. Two-state solutions have been proffered. We don't want these people to be displaced. Yes, this solution or this proposal may not be a popular proposal. It may not be something that anybody will expect. But in the long run, it's going to help to ameliorate the problem they have in that area. And I think there's nothing wrong if these people can really be resettled. Yes, it's against the international law that negates forceful eviction or forceful relocation. But let's not forget that these people are dying every day. Right now, if you have to play the video of Gaza, you shed tears. There are barely no houses standing in that place. It has become debris. That I think is a ghost place right now.
All right.
I wonder how they sleep.
All right. Now, that is the dissolution we were talking about. Was leveled by the Israeli forces in the fight against Hamas. Barrister Abithmos, I know you have a lot to react to his own comment. You have the floor.
First and foremost, 2005 is just like yesterday.
20 years.
So going back to history, go back to 1947. How was Israel created? Forceful taking of Palestinian land. That was how Israel was created.
Was it forceful taking? But it was given to them. Wasn't forcefully given to them, or because the world need to come together. Let's give you a place to stay after the Holocaust.
Good. Which means you agree with me that,
and that place, according to them, is ancestral land.
Which means you agree with me that by 1945 Israel wasn't there. Which means that's what you agree with me. And if you agree with me that by 1945 Israel wasn't there, so all these wars we are talking about did not start in 2005, nor October 7, 2023. Now, what is happening is that America believes that they have become the policeman of the world with the demise of the old Soviet Union.
Do they believe all they are?
I can't say they are, because if you look at it today, America cannot dare China. Because the China of 2005, 2014 is not the China of today. Hence, they are talking of trade embargoes. But I can tell you straight away, if you say because a child is not tall and if he has to be tall, he has to be sick so he can get to a height, then you are saying we must turn a blind eye to international law and international order. Because if America is to seize Gaza, why are we talking about Russia taking up Ukraine? Why?
Hold on, Barrister. Is this seized or taken out to make it better? Don't forget the Hamas question.
You have just said
all this
now,
started because of Hamas incursion into Israel.
I am coming to the issue of Hamas. Who created Hamas? It's not Israel. Hamas was not popular. It was the Palestinian Authority that was in charge of Gaza. But because the Palestinian president was not kowtowing to the Israelis' dictates, Israelis insisted there should be a democratic rule in Gaza. Israel funded Hamas as a political group, funded them, gave them weapons. Election was conducted in 2005, my friend was talking about, and they used guns to wipe out the Palestinian Authority, and they had to run to West Bank. That is how Hamas came into being in Gaza. Otherwise, Gaza and West Bank were under Palestinian Authority. But Israel wanted divide and rule, like the British system in Nigeria, divide and rule system. So they now decided to create Hamas as a political entity to contest election. But they have forgotten that a Palestinian is a Palestinian, a Nigerian is a Nigerian, whether it's from the northeast or southwest. At the end of the day, the Palestinians, the Hamas, the Israelis created, funded, and became a party that metamorphosed from a political organization into a militant group. And who were their next target after they drove away the Palestinian leaders? It was Israel. Now, that is not going to be enough answer to say, oh, well, these people have been fighting, they have been fighting, let us now go and take their land from them, disperse them to Jordan, take them to Qatar, take them to Egypt. Why are the Arabs saying no? Why is Donald Trump playing deaf ears to the Arabs, as if the Arabs are not human beings?
All right.
Just a minute, please. Now, if you are saying that, oh, they are killing, do you know how many people have died between October 7 and now? If you say they are look at the screen, look at the multitude of people moving from one section of Palestine from the south, moving towards the north. Okay, we said the ceasefire is fragile. Why is it fragile? The agreement that was reached in Qatar was that at least 160 trailers should go into Gaza to help the people of Gaza to have tents to sleep. They don't have the tents to sleep.
All right. Well, you've heard him. Is that whether I want to believe it or not? It's a form of hostile takeover. That America wants to take over.
It's not America, it's Donald Trump.
Oh, who is the president of America?
There's a difference between Republicans and Democrats. Republicans are the ones who are now perpetrating this evil.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to Barrister Thomas. Well, you heard him. He gave a point saying that will not work. After all, it was Israel that funded Hamas until Hamas turned against them. After all, they were the one that armed them to fight against the constitutional authority, the Palestinians, and right now they're the ones in charge. Why cry foul?
Well, I don't want to toe the line of Israel funded Hamas. And after they succeeded in dealing with the Palestinian Authority, they have to come back to target Israel. I don't want to toe that line. I don't want to believe it. Of course, that ends at the point of allegations, because it's not founded anywhere that Israel actually did all that. But what I'm here to say is that what is the solution? If you are saying the solution I'm giving to you is not the real solution. What is supposed to be the solution? Now, the two-state solution have been proposed over 2 decades ago. But it never saw the light of day. Why? That's a question that is begging for an answer. And you will see that, I think the agenda is this. The truth of the whole matter is that with Hamas in Gaza, there can never be peace in the Middle East.
With Hamas in Gaza?
Yes. Israel will never sleep. Even Gazans themselves will never sleep.
You just hold on now, hold on. I'll come back to you after this break. Hold that thought. You said with Hamas in Gaza, Israel will not sleep, neither will Hamas sleep. We'll come back to you after this break. Don't go away. Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's on our headline. Yes, Sir Clark dies at 97. May so rest in peace.
Amen.
Well, if you just joined us, this is International Forum. It's all about Israel-Hamas war, Donald Trump's plan for the Gaza Strip. I have Honorable Paul IEC and, of course, Barrister A.B. Thomas in the studio, giving their own point of view of what they feel about the proposal of Donald Trump. Honorable Paul Ogido, over now to you. Continue
Yes.
before you start.
Yes, like I said,
That Hamas in Gaza, there will not be peace.
there can never be peace. Hamas is the real issue. It's not as if, if you see how the wars, the attacks have been happening, it is always brought about by Hamas, who will always shoot rockets into Israel. They launch rockets day and night into Israel, and their agenda is known. They don't hide their agenda. Their agenda is to ensure that they establish a Palestinian, an Islamic state. They don't want to see the state of Israel in any way. So they are troubleshooters. They are destroyers. And with them at the helm of affairs, Israel have boastfully said, this time, there have always been attacks on them. But this time around, they are going to defeat Hamas. Hamas is the issue. And now, Donald Trump is saying, okay, these wars have been going on, unabated. I think the best solution will be to relocate the people, the original people that are there. Okay, but first of all, I want you to know that Gaza have been under the rule of other countries before. Egypt have been in charge of Gaza.
True.
For some years.
Yeah.
After Israel defeated won the war against the Arab states, they left Egypt there to take over the administration of Gaza. For several years, Egypt was in charge until Israel had to come back. Now, in 2005, as I cited before, they vacated the place peacefully. Now, take over this place and do well with it. But what happens? Barely a year, the Gazans brought in. That is why I don't want to agree with my brother here who said the Israelis, they brought Hamas. It was the Gazans that brought Hamas. And after that election that brought them, they started fighting the Palestinian Authority. And they displaced them and took charge. Since that time till now, that place has been a death trap. And they never stop at causing chaos to ensure that they establish an Islamic state in that area, including in the land of Israel.
All right. You heard him. He said the issue there is Hamas. And he said, for what you allege that Israel is what have funded Hamas and all that, let's leave it in that particular, limelight of allegation. Hamas seems to be the trouble. Don't forget that Israel said they are going to wipe out Hamas off the surface of the earth. They are not fighting against the Palestinians. They're not fighting against innocent citizens, but they are fighting Hamas. And Donald Trump said, look, Since Hamas is the issue, and that place has been turbulent for quite a long time, turn it to something else that both will not have access to. Free zone. America took over, turn it to a tourist center where they can just go there, chill, have the sightseeing. After all, there'll be peace. Gaza Strip is not the entirety of the Palestinians.
Yes.
He said, leave that spot. But say Thomas.
I laugh. I laugh because we are not facing the truth. Where you have justice, there will be peace. Real justice. If the American Democrats, in their own period, they were in power, and they floated this idea of 2 states. The Europeans said 2 states. The United Nations said 2 states. Even Africans agreed on 2 states. The people who has made 2 states impossible has been Israelis. And if you continue to be transigent over 2 states, then you make a bloody change inevitable. I do not support bloody change, but you see, when you keep on suppressing a people, you have driven them to a stage where they become divided. You have Palestinians in West Bank, you have Palestinians in Gaza, you have Palestinians in Jordan. Now they are so decimated. The ones in Gaza, you want to push into the Mediterranean Sea. Today you ask them move from the north to the south. Even the democratic government of Biden was even telling the Israelis, look, you cannot move these people from the north to the south. They refuse to listen. United Nations voted, they refuse to listen. Each time America will cast the veto power. Now, as soon as you continue to have that kind of situation without justice, how can there be peace? Now, look at the situation we are facing today. That unless you remove the Palestinians from Gaza, there will be no peace. That is not something anybody who is a student of international law will accept. Do we say because of iPod we should just wipe out the whole East? I mean, it's not sensical. Or we do say because there is Boko Haram in Northeast, we should wipe off the whole Northeast? It's nonsensical.
But they didn't say, well, they say relocate.
Relocate.
No,
Are you going to remove everybody?
Hold on, but it's like you're missing this point.
I'm not missing.
Relocation and wiping are two different things.
Excuse me. What I'm trying to say is this.
Yes.
Are you going to remove everybody from the East because iPod is causing trouble? Because iPod is saying, don't enter the East, no movement on Mondays. Are you going to remove everybody and bring them to Benin and worry? Are you going to say because Boko Haram is stopping Northeast, we will relocate them, take them to Kano, or bring them to Benin? I mean, let us be serious about these things. You just go to people's land, remove the indigenous because you believe you are supporting Israel. And I'm sorry that you don't want contemporary examples.
No, give us contemporary examples.
Contemporary examples is the one that the Russians are saying, Ukrainians are Russians. Therefore, we must take you. We must take your land. Because you are Russians. And we are saying no. Soviet Union has broken down and balkanized into 12 different countries. Russians are saying no. Okay, look at what is happening between China and Taiwan. If Donald Trump is not stopped, Chinese are watching. Go and seize other people's land. We are even saying Taiwan is part of China. It's our homeland. And you are saying, oh, you want to take Gaza, which is over 50,000 miles from America. And Taiwan is just about 3 kilometers by sea.
All right.
So, no, let me finish it. Then Russians will now have a cause to go into Taiwan and seize Taiwan.
Okay.
So it is not going to be a reason If America has all the years been supporting the existence of Taiwan, while at the same time they are saying, oh, Taiwan is not an independent country, but we are supporting Taiwan, then now you want to ask the people who own their land, please remember the song of Sonny Okosun.
Who owns the land? Papa's land.
Please,
I'll come back to you. Now, during the lead from what Barrister Ibifamos is really striking that he said it doesn't really make sense for you to relocate some people that owns the land. They've been there for eons, so to speak, for thousands of years, hundreds of years, you just name it. And if you should say America should take over, it's indirectly handing over the Gaza Strip to Israel on a platter. Now, what do they say about that?
Here, Donald Trump never said that. He never said he was handing over to Israel. That should be insinuations. Yes, man is free. Anybody is free to insinuate that, oh, maybe this is what he has in mind. But he has never said that. He has never said so. And from the contemporary examples, like he said, I want to use his word, I don't think those examples actually depicts what is on ground. In Gaza, the Taiwan and the Chinese matter has no correlation with what is happening in Gaza and Gaza, Hamas, and Israel. These are people who are ready to establish an Islamic state. Don't forget. That is the agenda. And he let these people, let us establish our own government here. And we don't want to see any other. That is who they are. They are a terrorist organization, of course. We all know. Nobody will ever argue that. And these are the people, they don't have in fact, they don't have the moral standing to administer Gaza. They are not supposed to be administrators. Of course, today, they are the government in Gaza. And their own is to foment trouble. Okay, now, the whole world, the UN, mentioned all of them, no one has been able to take care of this issue. It's been lingering for so many decades. And now a man is coming up to say, well, we need to stop this carnage. We need to stop these killings. This destruction has to stop. It may not be a popular opinion. It may not be a popular solution. Don't forget, I've always said this. But it is not wrong for anybody to come up with something that will bring a permanent solution. If Donald Trump had woken up one morning to say, right now, because we are supporting Israel, we want these people to be removed from Israel, we'll relocate them or we'll force them out of that place so that Israel can take charge. Then we will say, this is injustice. There haven't been any solution that is working. Every solution that has been proffered to this Palestinian-Israeli war, no one has ever worked. It has all failed. So this man, the President of America, Donald Trump, has said, what we need to do, the people there, yes, I said they are few. When I said they are few, the reason is the people there, they are not up to a quarter of the population of Edo State. Yes. And they're saying, let's relocate them to several countries. Those who are willing to assist and let them have good life. Today, they are not living. They are living in fear. They are living in destruction. They are living in debt. What we need to do is, let's take them out. Let's rebuild this place. Let's make this place better again. Let the killings and the destruction here stop. For me, it might not be a popular opinion. It may not be a popular solution.
But you're down with it.
Indeed, it's a solution.
All right. So what are you proposing? What are you proposing? Because people have been trying.
People are talking and trying. America has made it impossible for United Nations to give a solution to this two-state state status. Without justice, like I told you, you cannot have peace.
So what are you proposing?
I propose that we go back to all the resolutions of United Nations. Let America stop using veto power, so that the world don't know why we are afraid to say that America has made UN to be ineffective.
But don't forget the presence of Hamas also, no terrorist group.
Excuse me, who is branding Hamas terrorist group? There was an election in Gaza. Election was conducted. Israeli had observers there. Hamas won. But if you armed
by using guns, ammunition, eliminating opposition, is that what you call election?
No.
Don't forget that you opined that Israel supported Hamas to get rid of the Palestinian Authority.
Good.
So would you call it an election?
They did that. At that election, there was no gun used. There was no gun used in that election. It was when Abbas was already administering Gaza that the Palestinians were saying, no, we can't have the PLA, the Palestinian Authority in West Bank, and have another authority in Gaza. That they tried to bring their policemen to police Gaza, that the armed conflict came up, and the arms were supplied by Israel. Now what I'm trying to say is this: two-state solution is the only way you can get justice. It is not by one man. Before this January, was America not in existence? America was in existence. Biden was the president. He never suggested taking over under mass territory. So a man has just come. He's in charge of Congress, he's in charge of Senate. Nobody to challenge him. So he begins to acquire everywhere in the world. And one day we come to Nigeria here and say he wants to take over Nigeria. And what will you do? No. See,
I don't think
this is a man who is look, he has banned many media organizations from White House for referring to Gulf of Panama as Gulf of Panama. He said, no, I am the one saying it. As from today, it's Gulf of America. Or are we saying that he did not say that Canada must be part of America to become 51st state of America?
He made a suggestion. Which would the Canadian resist and say no to it?
I would like to say something concerning that.
Excuse me. Has the Gazans, the Palestinians in Gaza, have they told Donald Trump, please come and rescue us, we are suffering?
Good question. Over now.
Have they?
Yes.
Good question. Over now to you.
When
Have they called on him for rescue?
When you say it's
Look
taking
at them
over
on the screen.
everywhere, when you say it's taking
Have
over
they told you to
everywhere,
come?
you mentioned Canada. Don't forget what Donald Trump said concerning Canada. He said, how can America pay $200 billion in subsidy to Canada? You can only do that to your country. If Canada, it means that Canada cannot exist without that. Then, is it wrong to make such a place part of America? He has just said something. He didn't say he's bent on making Canada. Of course, we know Donald Trump's personality and the way he says his words. Of course, he would have said that maybe he doesn't mean to actually take over Canada, which we know that it's not going to be easy for him to do. I don't think he's a fool. So, let's come back to the issue of Gaza. Gaza is a place of death to the people that live there.
But still, these people in question, like what Russia claimed that the Donbass region were saying that they should come help them, they didn't cry out to America for help, did they?
I didn't get that.
Did they say, come help us, we are suffering? Did they call to America for help?
You mean Gaza?
Yes.
Oh.
Because that was the question he asked, and it's a good one.
Yes. If you say they didn't call America to come and help. Now, these people are dying daily. We see them dying daily. Of course, you should know that the world is a global village. Everybody have interest in what happens around the world. And of course, America is the big man. Whether you like it or not, I am not the one saying it. In my own opinion, I don't think Trump has done anything bad by saying if he was going to take over that strip and hand it over to Israel to administer, then one would say this is injustice. How can you take over this place, displace the people there, and give it over to the because
But some
they
are
are
saying,
your best allies.
But some are saying if it's in the hands of Americans, then indirectly Israel is in charge. After all, they're allies.
That would be their word against that of America. We have not seen that happen.
If I can say something, please.
All right, go ahead.
You see, first and foremost, in my place, we say, Onkyo Dauda. What is bad is bad. What is bad is bad. I will never support what is bad.
Me too.
How can Trump now say we will relocate 2 million Gazans to other countries that are also already saying you cannot bring them to our country and they must not leave their place? And the people, the Palestinians in Gaza say, we are not going anywhere. This is our father's land. Oh, because, like he's saying, that America is the overlord of the whole world.
No, really, America is the police of the world. You
No.
just can't take it from them.
No.
I'm not the one saying
No,
it.
you cannot take it from them.
I disagree with you.
They're the
Because
police
if
of the
they are-
world.
Whether you
they are
like it or not.
You see, if you look at it today, in Africa, what you may not be seeing properly is that the Chinese are the policemen in Africa. You may not be seeing it. They are in charge of the police in Zambia. They are in charge of the airports in many African countries. They are bringing development funded by them. They are in charge of Africa. So if today, okay, even the Arabs that you say you want to distribute the Palestinians to, they are refusing. The Palestinians, like you yourself even said, you said in Donbass, they asked the Russians to come and assist them. Has the Palestinians in Gaza cried to America to say, oh, we have no house again, we have no sewage, we have no road, we have no food, please come and take over us? Did they ask for it? If they didn't ask for it, is it now good that one country, Nigeria, can say, oh, we are very powerful in West Africa? The Niger Republic say, they're no longer going to be ECOWAS, we will take over the Niger Republic. I will stay here and I will tell you Nigeria does not have that right. So what is bad is bad. And I am a Muslim. I don't see anything wrong in any country that wants to profess its own faith. I am Thomas, but I'm a Muslim.
But what if it's not playing all those people's faith? Because that seems to be the issue.
Give them 2 states. Let them have their own state with all their rights. If they want to pray 10 times a day, let them pray 10 times a day. They will not go into Israel.
But I've been going into Israel.
Because these 2 states has not taken effect. Each time the thing comes out before the United Nations to say 2-state solution, the next thing, America brings red card, veto. So how do you now expect peace?
All right. You're going to have the last line of this discussion because Barrister Thomas just gave his last line. He made so much strong point saying nobody called on America to come help. And remember, Qatar said no. Saudi said no. United Arab Emirates say no. Of course, you know the stand of Iran is always no. Let's build our own street by ourselves. But America is saying for peace to reign, let's take over. Your last line, what do you think is the solution?
Well, I think Donald Trump has the solution. I will say this. Those countries like Jordan and other countries that said, no, let them stay in their own place, we don't want to take them up. This man have just made a proposal. He's still at this level of proposal. We want to take over that place for peace to reign. We are not giving it to any of them. These people don't seem to have life right now. A lot of things have destruction, wars, killings. The last one that just happened now, since October, at least any normal human being will know that these people don't have life anymore. And for America to say, I want to correct that. Donald Trump is America today, and America is Donald Trump. Of course, America is a democracy. If they don't want it, they can tell him, no, we don't want to accept this. For there not to be rivalry, and he's proposing this, and they seems to give a nod to go ahead, then it means America is backing this up. So if he wants to do it, fine. If they are not accepting them, if the relocation is not going to work, we wait and see. But for me, I think it's a good suggestion
All right.
made by him.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. We can go on and on with this argument. Something is certain. We want peace. And people are still thinking about the October 7, 2023 incursion of Hamas into Israel. That's what really started all this. Benjamin vowed that he's going to wipe off Hamas. But he's using a huge hammer to kill a fly because there are casualties. Now, they're always saying, look, for there to be peace, let's take over. Turn into a side that everyone can really come, have fun, drive out Hamas, which they term terrorist group, and peace will be in that particular Gaza Strip. Of course, you've heard the reactions of them in the studio, and the same reaction in a bigger form on the global scale. Some are saying yes to it, others are saying no to it. But in all, we want peace. Let's see if this idea or suggestion by President Donald Trump will come into fruition. Barrister Thomas, I thank you so much for coming on today's show. And of course, Honorable Paul.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today's
I'm
show.
glad to be
Keep
here.
watching, we keep observing as a still report back to you. Bye for now.